Listen, every dream you're holding, every vision you replay in your mind late at night, every goal you've been scared to say out loud, none of that is random. It's a map of where your soul is trying to take you, but most people never follow their map. They settled, they freeze, they get distracted, or they start believing they weren't built for more. But achievement, it's not magic, it's not luck, it's not something reserved for the chosen few. It's a route, a path, a blueprint. And once you understand that map, once you know how to read it, your life will never look the same again. Today I want to break down 5 pieces of that map. 5 checkpoints every successful person has to pass through. And once you understand these, you won't be scared of your dreams anymore. You'll be guided by them. Everything starts in the mind long before it shows up in your life. Every win, every breakthrough, every level you're trying to reach, it all begins with vision. Not just eyesight, but not just what's in front of you, but what you're willing to imagine beyond your circumstances. You can't hit a target you haven't set. You can't reach a destination you haven't seen. And the truth is, most people aren't stuck because they're weak or incapable. They stuck because they're moving with no map. They wake up every day reacting to life instead of directing it, letting distractions choose their path instead of clarity choosing their future. Vision is the one thing nobody can hand you. It has to come from inside. It's that picture you carry in your mind that's so clear, so detailed, so vivid that it starts pulling you toward it. Athletes do it. Entrepreneurs do it. Creators do it. Anyone who has ever changed their life has done it. They lived in their future before their future ever showed up for them. Look at people who built something from nothing. They didn't wait for applause. They didn't wait for proof. They didn't wait for someone to validate them. They believed so deeply in what they were building that the world eventually had no choice but to catch up. It's a powerful thing that happens when your vision becomes real to you. Your steps change. Your energy changes. Your habits shift. You stop living in circles and start living with intention. That's why I always say your vision is your GPS. Without it, you'll spend your whole life driving but never arriving, busy but not productive, moving but not progressing, surviving but not thriving. I once knew a brother who grew up in a broken neighborhood, the kind of place where hope felt like a luxury and dreams felt like something only people on TV had. His apartment was falling apart, bills overdue, debt stacking up. No mentors, no financial help, nothing but pressure. But even in the middle of that struggle, he did something small that changed everything. He printed out a picture of the car he wanted, the home he wanted, the lifestyle he dreamed of, a picture so far from his reality that most people would have laughed at him for even imagining it. He taped it to his wall with cheap tape because he couldn't afford anything better. Every morning when he woke up, he saw those reminders. Every night before he slept, he stared at them again. That wall became his vision board, but more than that, it became his compass. It didn't matter that he was broke. It didn't matter that his friends were settling. It didn't matter that people told him his dreams were too big. He saw something bigger than the moment he was in. He wasn't decorating his wall. He was programming his mind. And your mind is the first place success ever shows up. Fast forward 10 years, that same brother was driving the car he once printed out on paper, living in the house he once taped to the wall, providing for his family in ways he once wondered if he'd ever be able to do. Nothing magic happened. Nothing overnight happened. What happened was his mind arrived at his destination long before his body did, and eventually his reality had to catch up. That's the power of vision. It becomes a magnet. It pulls opportunities, ideas, people, and choices into your life that align with where you're trying to go. You start saying no to things you would have said yes to before. You start choosing growth over comfort. You start thinking long term instead of living for the moment. You move differently when you know where you're headed. The problem is too many people are walking around with no internal picture. They know what they don't want, but they've never taken time to figure out what they do want. They complain about their job, but they've never pictured the life they want to build beyond it. They say they want love, but they've never envisioned the type of partner they need to grow with. They say they want success, but they've never defined what success looks like to them. So life keeps handing them random outcomes because they keep sending random signals. Vision isn't about being unrealistic. It's about being intentional. You don't have to know every step. You don't need the whole staircase. You just need the first picture. Once you see the life you want, the path begins to reveal itself. Your brain is built to search for patterns that align with what you believe. If you believe in limitation, you'll find more reasons to stay stuck. But if you believe in possibility, you'll find doors where other people see walls. People think they need resources first, money first, support first, validation first. They don't. They need vision first. Vision will make you resourceful enough to find everything else. Vision will turn a beginner into a student into a leader, and a leader into an example. Vision will make you study things you used to ignore. Vision will make you work overtime without complaint. Vision will make you get back up after setbacks because you know where you're going. And one bad day can't stop a purpose-driven person. Even science backs it up. Neuroscience research shows your brain literally creates new pathways based on what you consistently visualize. Your imagination isn't a toy, it's a tool. And when you feed it with intention, it becomes your greatest advantage. There's a reason successful people walk with confidence even when they don't have everything figured out yet. They're not confident because their life is perfect. They're confident because they've already seen where they're headed. They're already living in the future mentally. They already know the finish line exists. They're just running their laps until they get there. So ask yourself right now, what do you see when you picture your best life? What's the lifestyle? What's the energy? What's the financial situation? What's the peace level? Who are you surrounded by? What does your daily routine look like? Because if you can't answer those questions, you're asking life to drive without direction. And the truth is, until you decide what life you're building, nothing else matters. Not the obstacles, not the delays, not the doubts. Once your vision becomes real to you, everything else becomes a detail. Your actions align, your decisions sharpen, your purpose activates. You can change your entire life the moment you change the picture you carry in your mind. Vision is the birthplace of achievement. Start there, and everything else will follow. Vision might be the spark, but discipline is the fuel that keeps the fire alive. It's easy to get excited when you first see where you want to go. It's easy to feel inspired when the dream is fresh, the energy is high, and the path looks clear. But life isn't a movie. That excitement fades. Real life shows up. Distractions show up. Doubts show up. And that's where most people fall off, not because they didn't want it, but because they didn't build a discipline to carry them when their feelings stopped cooperating. Vision gives you direction, but discipline gives you movement. A map doesn't mean anything if you never start walking. You can talk about what you want all day. You can pray for it, plan for it, dream about it, but none of it matters until your feet touch the ground and you start moving. You don't get blessed by wishing. You get blessed by working. You get blessed by consistency, not convenience. Discipline is the bridge between I want it and I have it. It's the quiet promise you make to yourself when nobody's watching. It's waking up before the world wakes up, while it's still dark and silent, choosing progress over comfort. It's staying committed when the excitement fades and the grind feels repetitive. It's turning off distractions and turning on focus. It's doing the reps when nobody is clapping, nobody is posting about you, nobody is giving you credit, and nobody even knows how hard you're working except you. The truth is, motivation is not reliable. Psychologists have been saying it for years. Motivation is emotional. It goes up, it goes down. It shifts based on your environment, your circumstances, and your mood. One day you feel unstoppable, the next day you feel drained. One day you're inspired, the next day you're tired. You can't build anything long-term on something short-term. But discipline is behavioral. Discipline is a habit. Discipline becomes automatic when you build it the right way. And habits don't ask how you feel, they just execute. Think about a runner training for a marathon. They don't wake up every morning excited to run 10 miles. Half the time their body hurts, they're exhausted, or they'd rather stay in bed. But they run anyway, not because they feel like it, but because the race is coming whether they're ready or not, whether they trained or not, whether they stayed disciplined or not. Life is the exact same way. Your opportunities are coming, your blessings are coming, your challenges are coming, and the only question is, will you be ready when they arrive? Every time you choose discipline, you choose progress, you choose growth, you choose to move closer to the life you say you want. And every time you avoid discipline, you delay your own blessings. You push your progress further into the future. You extend your struggle. You slow down your journey, not because life is unfair, but because life is responding to your decisions. Discipline is uncomfortable, but so is regret, and regret lasts way longer. A lot of people want the reward, but they don't want the routine. They want to be great, but they don't want to be consistent. They want to shine on the stage, but they don't want to sweat in the dark. They want the lifestyle, but not the habits that sustain it. And that's exactly why their dreams stay dreams. The gap between dreaming and doing is discipline. Success isn't about being gifted, it's about being consistent. You can have average talent with elite discipline and still beat the person with natural talent and no commitment. That's the crazy thing. Discipline levels the playing field. It turns underdogs into winners. It turns long shots into champions. It turns nobody into somebody. There's something powerful that happens when you master discipline. Your self-respect grows. Your confidence grows. Your belief in yourself strengthens because every day you keep a promise to yourself. You prove to your own mind that you're dependable. You stop breaking your own word. You stop disappointing yourself. You stop living at the mercy of your moods. And once you reach that level of internal strength, nobody can take it from you. People think discipline is punishment. It's not. Discipline is freedom. Freedom from stress. Freedom from chaos. Freedom from last-minute panic. Freedom from living in survival mode. When you're disciplined, you control your days instead of your days controlling you. You start your mornings with intention instead of rushing. You finish tasks early instead of falling behind. You create momentum instead of waiting for it. You move with purpose instead of reacting to life's pressure. Discipline is also protection. It protects your future from your present laziness. It protects your dream from your temporary feelings. It protects your goals from your excuses. Every time you choose discipline, you cast a vote for the person you're becoming. And here's the part people don't like to admit. Discipline is lonely. You will lose people. You will outgrow environments. You will be misunderstood. You will be judged for being too focused or too serious. But that's the price of building something meaningful. Not everyone is willing to sacrifice. Not everyone is willing to be uncomfortable. Not everyone is willing to delay gratification. And that's why not everyone wins. But if you stay disciplined long enough, the world eventually feels your presence. Because success is loud, even when the work was done in silence. There's a story about a young man who wanted to become a software engineer. He had no college degree, no fancy connections, and barely knew how to use a computer at first. But he decided he was going to teach himself. Every day after his shift at a warehouse, he studied for 4 hours. Every weekend, he spent 8 hours learning instead of partying. For 2 years straight, he sacrificed. Friends laughed at him. Family doubted him. People told him he was wasting his time. But his discipline didn't break. At the end of those 2 years, he landed a 6-figure job. Everybody clapped. Everybody congratulated him. But nobody saw the nights he cried from exhaustion, or the mornings he forced himself out of bed. His discipline created a life that motivation never could. That's the secret. Discipline isn't glamorous, it's not poetic, but it's undefeated. You don't need to be inspired every day. You don't need to feel powerful every day. You just need to show up. You just need to take the step. You just need to follow through on the promises you make to yourself. When you master discipline, you master your destiny. And when you master your destiny, your life becomes a reflection of your effort, not your excuses. You can be the most talented, the most driven, the most visionary person in the world, but if your environment is working against you, it's like trying to run a marathon with sandbags tied to your legs. You can have the right map, the right dream, the right destination, but if the space around you is full of detours, negativity, distractions, and people who don't believe in growth, you'll move slower than you should, or you might not move at all. That's why your environment matters just as much as your goals. It's not just where you're going, it's what you're surrounded by while you're trying to get there. Your circle is your infrastructure. Just like a city needs strong roads, bridges, and systems to function, you need strong people, strong habits, and strong energy around you to build a future worth living in. Your environment can elevate you or it can drain you. It can sharpen you or it can dull you. It can water your potential or it can suffocate it without you even noticing. And the dangerous part is, environment works quietly. You don't always feel the damage day by day. You just wake up one morning and realize you've become a version of yourself you never intended to be. There's a reason successful people say, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. They say it because it's true. Success is contagious, but so is failure. Ambition is contagious, but so is laziness. Confidence is contagious, but so is insecurity. You absorb what you're around. You pick up behaviors, attitudes, beliefs, and expectations from the people closest to you. Not because you mean to, but because humans adapt to survive. And sometimes that adaptation keeps you stuck instead of moving forward. There are studies that prove this on a deep level. One of the most famous ones showed that if your closest friends are obese, your chances of becoming obese increase by 45%, even if you live far away from them. That's how powerful influence is. It doesn't matter if they're not in your house. The mindset, the habits, the standard they operate from still affects you. And it works the same with finances, ambition, discipline, growth. and mindset. If your circle is broke mentally or financially, if they settle for mediocrity, if they move without intention, if they're negative, unmotivated, ungrateful, or constantly complaining, you will inherit that mindset without even realizing it. Their limits become your limits. Their excuses become your excuses. Their doubts become your doubts. Your environment is programming you quietly, consistently, and deeply, so you have to stop and ask yourself, are the people around you pushing you forward or pulling you back? Do they challenge you or drain you? Do they clap for you or compete with you? Do they push you towards your potential or keep you locked in your past? You don't need a large circle. You need the right circle. People get obsessed with quantity, how many friends, how much attention, how much approval, but in reality, quality is everything. You can have 10 people in your life and still feel alone, or you can have one person who pushes you so hard that your entire life levels up because of their presence. One real friend is worth more than 100 acquaintances. One mentor can shift your entire direction. One partner who believes in your vision can change the pace of your growth. Sometimes you have to outgrow people you love. That's the hardest part. Not everyone is meant to walk every chapter of your story with you. Some people are only meant for the beginning. Some people were lessons, not lifetime connections. And as your vision grows, your environment has to grow with it. If you stay in a place that no longer matches your mindset, your spirit will feel trapped. You'll feel irritated, drained, uninspired, or empty. And you won't know why. But the reason is simple. You've evolved, but your environment hasn't. When you start improving your life, you'll notice something. The people who are aligned with growth will support you, push you, and challenge you. They won't feel threatened by your progress. They won't get jealous because you're changing. They'll celebrate your wins, guide you through your losses, and remind you who you are during your moments of doubt. They'll make you rise to the level of their discipline, their work ethic, and their standards. But the people who don't want to grow will try to pull you back into comfort. They'll say things like, "You've changed," or "You're acting different," or "You think you're better than us now." Not because you did anything wrong, but because your growth exposes their stagnation. Elevating your environment doesn't always mean cutting people off harshly. Sometimes it just means adjusting the distance. You don't hate them. You're just growing past them. You're choosing your future over your familiar habits. You're choosing your purpose over your comfort zone. You're choosing mental peace over draining conversations. And that's not selfish. That's survival. That's self-respect. That's long-term thinking. Sometimes the only way to win is to change what and who you allow around you. The truth is, the people around you affect how far you go. If you surround yourself with people who think small, you'll shrink your dreams to fit in. If you surround yourself with people who make excuses, you'll start believing excuses are acceptable. If you surround yourself with people who criticize everything, you'll begin to fear taking risks. But if you surround yourself with people who think big, who study, who hustle, who sacrifice, who dream, who stay focused, who are growing spiritually, financially, emotionally, mentally, you will rise to their level naturally. You won't have a choice. Greatness requires a certain atmosphere. Just like plants need the right soil, right light, right water, and right environment to grow, you need your own version of that. Your environment shapes your thoughts. Your thoughts shape your decisions, and your decisions shape your destiny. Sometimes the biggest upgrade you can make in life isn't your job or your home or your skills. It's your environment. It's who you listen to, who you spend time with, who you take advice from, who you allow near your mind. Because whoever has access to your environment has access to your energy, and your energy is too valuable to waste. Build a circle that reflects where you're going, not where you've been. Surround yourself with people who make you feel unstoppable, not insecure. People who remind you of your greatness, not your mistakes. People who speak life into your dreams, not death into your confidence. Your environment is the soil your future grows from. Make sure it's fertile, make sure it's strong, make sure it's worthy of the seeds you're planting, because your life will rise or fall to the level of the circle you choose. Life will never give you a clean, perfect route to your goals. Every journey you take, whether it's towards success, healing, love, or becoming who you're meant to be, comes with its own map full of setbacks you didn't see coming. There will be days the road is smooth and you feel unstoppable, and there will be days everything feels blocked, delayed, or completely out of your control. But that's the part nobody tells you. The road isn't supposed to be perfect. It's supposed to shape you. You will fail, and sometimes that failure will come after you gave everything you had. You will fall, and sometimes the world won't pause to let you catch your breath. You will lose people you thought were forever, the ones you imagined standing beside you at the finish line. You will doubt yourself so deeply that you have to fight your own mind just to get out of bed. You will question every step you've taken, your choices, your vision, your timing, even your worth. And in those moments, it'll feel like your story is over. But it's not. Those moments are exactly where resilience is born. See, people think resilience is about toughness, but it's really about persistence. It's the quiet decisions you make when nobody's watching, the one that says, I'm not stopping here. It's what separates the ones who dream from the ones who turn dreams into reality. Anyone can get excited at the start. Anyone can smile when things are going right. But only a few people have the heart to stand back up after everything falls apart. Only a few keep pushing when it feels like the universe keeps saying no. Think about Thomas Edison. 1,000 tries, 1,000 disappointments, 1,000 moments where most people would have thrown everything away, 1,000 reasons to quit. But he didn't see failure the way the world sees failure. He didn't look at the darkness and ask, why is this happening to me? He looked at it and asked, what can I learn from this? That shift in mindset changed history. And it's the same shift that can change your life. Because resilience isn't just surviving the fall, it's studying the fall. It's asking yourself, what is this teaching me? Not why is this happening? When something hurts you, it's not always punishment, sometimes it's preparation. When something is taken from you, sometimes it's clearing space for something better. When someone leaves your life, sometimes it's protection disguised as loss. Every setback holds a lesson if you're willing to look deeper. Every loss teaches you strategy, how to move better, think smarter, protect your energy, and adjust your plans. Every moment of pain builds a version of you that can't be shaken by the same things again. Life doesn't waste pain. It uses it to make you stronger, sharper, wiser, more intentional. There will be nights where you feel like you're walking alone, but even those nights have purpose. They teach you how to trust your own steps. They teach you how to hear your own voice. They teach you how to stand on your own foundation when everything else feels unstable. Resilience isn't handed to you. It's earned in the moments you didn't think you could make it through but did anyway. And that's the thing about resilience. It doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes resilience is you taking one small step when you'd rather give up entirely. Sometimes resilience is you showing up again after yesterday broke you.